Alright, this is the Everwing. I'm coming back for another review. I'm doing a review on Tatsunoku versus Capcom. Finally, another tag fighting game from Capcom. It's been like, let's see, Marvel's Capcom 2 came out in 2000. So it's been almost 10 years since we've had a good crossover fighting game from Capcom. And I think they did this on purpose to get interest back into the games. I figured after so long, the whole Capcom fighting games, well, 2D fighting game genre as a whole, started to become kind of yesteryear with, your DOA and your Tekkens and your, all this, and Virtual Fighter came out and started becoming really popular, and 3D fighting games took over, and 2D fighting kind of set to the back burner. So I guess they're trying to find a way to come back, and waited, and then they didn't. I forgot. Marvel had a contract with, I think, what was it, EA or something? Yeah, I think they had it with EA, and they made that awful Rise of the Imperfects. What was it, Marvel versus something? And it was awful game. And Capcom just figured they need to go somewhere else and find a new company to have a sparring match with, I guess, because SNK vs. Capcom was boring. Well, I won't say it was boring. It was just nowhere near as good as Marvel's Capcom 2. But anyway, Tatsunoku vs. Capcom pretty much comes off of the heels of Marvel's Capcom 2 and the whole crossover tag system that Marvel's Capcom 2 pretty much, I don't want to say that they made, because they didn't make the system, but they pretty much put their stamp on the whole system. So that game is pretty much one of the most prolific games for 2D games last decade, and it's on PSN, so yeah. But anyway, Tatsunoku vs. Capcom. Tatsunoku, not people know much about the company. It's a Japanese anime company, I believe. They've been making anime since the 70s. They have a lot of old, Pride characters that people in Japan really care about and love. So, and then, everybody knows Capcom, so it's pretty much a universal worldwide thing, the whole Capcom. So that pretty much brought them to life. And I remember last year having some issues with licensing and localization, all that stuff. I'm not really big on, legal jargon and things like that. I just know that it was hindering them from taking the characters from Japan and moving it over to the US and Europe and the Western world. So I know that took some time. And then finally they got a green light to bring the characters over, so they were able to port it to the US, which was great. The only problem is they decided to bring it on a console that I wasn't particularly, didn't really care for the Wii all that much, to be honest. I mean, once you play Wii Sports and Wii Fish and Wii do everything so many times, you get done with it, and the Wii hasn't produced any good fighting games, so I was like, ugh. Not the Wii. Could have came on the PS3 or Xbox. Even Xbox, even though I hate the Xbox controller. I mean, this is not good for fighting. No. This is not good for fighting games. But anyway, I'm not gonna bash Xbox. Anyway, but yeah, it's on the Wii, and thank God you could use the GameCube controller, because I would never be able to play that game without a GameCube controller. But they did simplify it, so if you don't have a GameCube controller, which I suggest, you get a GameCube controller, because it's going to make the game a lot more fun and enjoyable than using a Wii remote. But into the game itself, the mechanics, they pretty much took everything from Marvel's Capcom 2, your tag combos, your assist, things like that. They pretty much brought back. And then they added this new mode, I think I forgot the name of it. I think it's like a crossover air combo now. Like you can do one air combo with one character and then hit him, and then your other character pops out and does another air combo right in succession. So that's pretty awesome. I think I love air combos. I'm a big fan of air combos. I see now that every game, as far as even action games, using air combos now, so I'm all for it. And they did a great job. And there's 3 buttons now. It used to be 4. Mario Capcom 2 had 4 buttons. I remember at one point it was 6 buttons, which is difficult. Medium buttons suck. I'm glad they took that off for Mario Capcom 2, and not only have 3 buttons. So for your hard kick and hard punch, it's 1 button. For medium punch and medium kick is 1 button, and light punch and light kick is 1 button. So that's good. It made it a lot easier doing air combos now and doing combos in general. Yeah, and to the characters, for Capcom, they brought all their usual suspects. They got Ryu, Chun-Li, they got Alex from Street Fighter 3, which, God, could have brought somebody better than him. But anyway, only we have Mega Man from the Legends series. But yeah, they got some pretty good characters on the Capcom side. They got Morgan. She finally has a new sprite, so I'm glad for that because she needed a new sprite. They've been using that same sprite from Darkstalkers for I don't know how many, almost 20 years now, I think. Because it's 96, I think that first time it came out. Yeah, almost 20, like 14, 15 years, something like that. It's been a long time for Morgan, so clap it up for Morgan for getting a new sprite. And the Morgan they brought to this one is more based off the Darkstalker series Morgan, so you won't see that big cannon that she uses from the crossover series in this game. She's pretty much like the one from Darkstalker. So if you're not used to that Morgan, get used to her. She's pretty awesome too. Chun-Li is a beast. I'm so happy because Chun-Li has been a back burner character for a long time in the crossover series, and it's great that they finally made her more aggressive and having better combos now. Then Ryu is great. He's faster and better and stronger. Faster, better, stronger. Yeah, pretty much that whole bit. Alex I don't really care for. There's a nice little red character, so you get a good sense of, oh, they brought Batsu from Rival Schools. If you're not familiar with Rival Schools, you should YouTube Rival Schools. It was a really good game for PS1, and it was a great game for Dreamcast with Project Justice. So I was happy to see him. He's probably one of my favorite characters from Capcom. I wish they would have brought Cammy, but that's a letter I'll be sending soon to Capcom for the next game. But anyway, on to the Tatsunoku side, there's a whole bunch of characters that are just brand new, fresh faces, people haven't even seen before, except for I do watch one anime they've produced called Tekkaman Blade series and Tekkaman. So it was great to see Tekkaman, and he's, I love Tekkaman. He's like my favorite character in the game. Chun-Li, Tekkaman, Batsu, and June the Swan from the Science Ninjas, which is a weird like pairing, but for some reason it somehow works with this game, and for them too, and the whole science team thing. There's a couple other crazy whacked out characters from Tatsunoku that they've made, but they all have their own charm to them. So I would say if you're not used to them, I say pick them up anyway and just try them out. It would be something new and refreshing, something that you haven't seen too much here in the States too much. The fighting mechanics are great. It's fast paced. It's fun. It's not stressful. It's not like you have to know all the different maneuvers to play it. I mean, you can pretty much pick up and play and have a great time playing it, which is what a lot of people want to do with fighting games. They don't want to have to learn a long book and just learn all the strategies and how to use all the different everything. I mean, not for me personally. I'm pretty good at fighting games. I love learning all that stuff. But for most people, they don't want to sit there and play a fighting game to practice all day just to learn how to play. They want to just pick it up and have fun, which is why other fighting games have done better than other fighting games. But that's a whole other subject. But yeah, Tatsunoku vs. Capcom graphics pretty good. It's cel shaded. It's very cartoony. The music is typical techno music you would see in a fighting game, especially for a Japanese fighter. Yeah, the hit effects look nice. It's very clean, very good animations, very smooth. Nice game. Overall, I would say I'm completely satisfied with it. I had no complaints at all, pretty much, except for the character selection, which is why this game will not get a perfect score like Final Fantasy 13 did. This game will be getting a 4 out of 5. So yeah, that's my review for Tatsunoku vs. Capcom, and I'll see you later.